Okay, so today we're going to start from a comfortable cross-legged position. So find your way to the floor, to your mat, whatever space you're using, and find a nice cross-legged position. It can be wide or close. You can sit on the edge of a cushion just to prop your hips up so that you're more comfortable. And then place your hands wherever feels good, on your knees, in your lap, maybe over your heart, on your belly, whatever feels good for you. Draw your spine up long towards the sky, relaxing your shoulder blades down. And when you're ready, close your eyes. We're just going to take a few deep breaths, bringing our awareness to the breath. So first of all, relax your forehead before we start. See if you can relax your cheeks, your jaw, dropping down those shoulders even more as your spine pulls up long and straight. Bring some freedom, relaxation into your belly. Let go of holding those muscles. Let go of the tightness in your hips a little bit, sinking down. And if you're holding your legs inside your legs with your muscles in any way, let that go. And see if finally you can bring a little bit of space, relaxation, release into your fingers and toes. And then we'll move into the breath. So taking a deep breath through your nose. Exhaling deeply through your mouth. Again, pulling all the air in through your relaxed body. And exhaling, relaxing even deeper. Again, inhale, awareness on the breath. Exhale, let go of any tension around your forehead, your temples. Again, inhale. Letting go of thoughts, judgments, anything you don't need as you exhale. Coming into this one moment on your mat. Inhale one last time. Feel your body in the space. Exhale, arrive on your mat. Hearing the sounds around you. Feeling your weight. And feeling the release. Okay, so let's start to roll out the shoulders. I'm going to face this way for you. Drawing your shoulders up and forwards and then moving them back down your back. So keeping that spine long, lifting up, relaxing everything else down. We're just moving the shoulder blades. Deep inhale as you lift them up. Deep exhale as you drop them back. One more time. Lengthen them down. Alright, straight spine. We're moving side to side. So reach your arms out as wide as you can. Reaching them far into this T-shape inhale. Exhale, drop off to one side. Fingertips coming down. Maybe come down onto your hand, onto your forearm, your elbow. Reaching up and out of your hips to stretch sideways. Both sit bones planted. Deep breaths. Good, coming back through center, arms reaching wide, inhale. Exhale, dropping to the other side, fingertips, hand, maybe forearm down, lift up and over. Good, come back up, let's take a little twist. So going around the first way, opposite hand to opposite knee, twist around to look at the back of the room. Just a gentle twist, keep breathing, deep breaths. Awareness moving in your body as you twist around to the other side. And awareness in the breath as well as you meet the pose. Alright, back to center. Walk your hands forwards. Forwards fold in this cross-legged position. I'll shuffle a little bit further back. Long spine, fingertips wide, pressing down onto the floor. Relax your head, relax your spine. And then either swing your legs around or roll over those knees or moving into a tabletop position, so reaching forwards and knees coming down onto the mat. Make sure your knees are underneath your hips, your wrists underneath your shoulders. Take a deep breath once to find this position. Hands pressing down, fingertips pressing down. See if you can feel your feet. And then inhale, we're going to do cat-cow, reaching the chest forward, tailbone up. Exhale, curve, press on up. Again, inhale, reach it forwards. Exhale, curve on up. One more time, inhale, reach it forwards. And exhale, curve on up. Press away from the floor. Okay, neutral spine, head reaching away from the hips, long line. Lift off, let's lift off the right leg. Keeping it bent, and we're just going to do some hip circles. So using the knee to draw a circle and opening out those hips. Trying to keep the hips straight, so in line with those shoulders. Hands pressing down, belly lifted a little bit. Okay, drop that leg down, repeat on the other side. Left leg lifting off, little circles. Keep breathing. It's easy to hold your breath while you're concentrating, but keep it flowing, keep it natural. Anything too much for you, move out of it. Moving with your easy breath. Alright, keep this leg lifted and reach it away from you. Long line, foot flexed. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Plant it down by turning it out to the long edge of the mat. So same arm as the leg, reaching away, we're finding our gate pose. Lengthened legs, so the right leg in this case reaching out and away. Top arm reaching out and away too. Extra long line, keep breathing. Alright, extended leg, the right leg, bring it into kneeling. And repeat on the other side, so reach away with the other arm. Other leg lengthened out, left leg reaching away. Top arm reaching away. Good. So just opening up this space along your torso, along that leg, long lines. Alright, come into a kneeling position, swivel back towards the front of your mat in the kneeling position, shuffle a little bit back, come up to tabletop again, reach the arms forward though this time, moving into puppy pose, so inhale, exhale, dropping the chest through the shoulder blades, sinking down, hips reaching up high. And we're going to take this in a rolling motion, so keeping it moving, scoop up the belly button, weight forwards over the hands, inhale. Exhale, sink it down, dropping the hips up towards the sky, sinking down towards the floor. Again, keep it moving, roll forwards, inhale, deep inhale to the top. Exhale all the way to the bottom, sinking down, moving into that spine. Okay, one more time, lift it forwards. Exhale, sink it down, good. Holding here for a few breaths. Every time you exhale, releasing a little bit more into that body. Really enjoying whatever good feelings you have, your breath, staying out of any judgments. Alright, come back up, walk back to tabletop, and we're tucking those toes to find our first downwards facing dog, reaching those hips up, keep the knees bent. Deep breaths, try and ground those heels down, lifting the hips away from the neck, long spine, fingertips planted. And we're going to take similar rolls like we were doing in the puppy pose wave, but we're going to do it in down dog to plank. So maybe you want to shuffle your down dog a little bit wider. I'm going to walk a little bit farther forwards. And then scoop up that belly, roll forwards, lengthen the legs, find your high plank position, dropping the pelvis down and long. Bend your knees, lift your hips back up, back to downwards facing dog. You can lengthen your legs, lifting up your knees if it feels good for you now. And we're going to keep it moving, rolling forwards to a plank position. Dropping those knees, lifting the hips up, downwards facing dog. Again, roll it forwards to plank. Bend the knees, lift it back up. One more time, roll it forwards. Pelvis in line. Bend the knees, downwards facing dog. Looking forwards, walk your feet towards your wrists, so shoulder distance apart. And let's release the hands if that feels good for you. Cupping the elbows, taking a nice relaxed forwards fold, maybe adding a sway, spreading out your toes, grounding down. Find those deep breaths. Alright, release the elbows, lengthen the spine, rise all the way up to standing. Feet coming together at the front of your mat, pressing the joints of the big toes together, but heels can be a little bit wider. Hands coming into prayer position at heart center. Spine reaching up long, belly button lifted, but shoulder blades coming down. Exhaling, relaxing in the torso, finding your mountain pose. And we're going to keep it moving with some sun salutations. So let's move into sun salutation A. We're going to reach those arms up, look up to joint palms, reach the fingertips high, inhale. Exhale, fold over the legs. You can bend the knees if that feels good. Inhale, half lift. Lengthen the legs, lengthen the spine, hands to shins. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, high plank. Keep exhaling as you drop the knees down and press down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, pull through to low cobra, reaching the chest through, belly down. Exhale, plant the toes, tuck on over, tabletop, press on up, downwards facing dog. Deep breath. Deep exhale. Looking forward, walk to the front of your mat. Joints of the big toes pressing together, half lift, hands to shins, lengthen everything. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lift it up. Look back up to those hands. Exhale, hands coming to prayer position. Okay, we're moving through that again a little bit stronger. Reach on up. Hands coming together, reach up high, inhale. Exhale, fold all the way over your legs. Inhale, half lift. You can keep the fingertips on the floor. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, high plank, lowering down, knees off. Inhale, upwards facing dog, chest reaching out. Exhale, drop it back, downwards facing dog. 2 deep breaths here. One more. And exhale, looking forward, walk to the front of your mat, toes pressing, half lift. Exhale, fold it over. Inhale, reach it up. Look on up, reach up high. Exhale, hands coming to prayer position. Alright, moving into sun salutation B. So we're going to move through chair pose. Bend the knees, really squeeze those legs together, make sure they're pressing together. Sweep the fingertips along the mat, come on up, arms reaching up high. So let's stay here a few breaths just to find this chair pose. Scooping up the belly, tailbone reaching down, spine reaching up long, shoulder blades dropping down, spreading out the toes. Okay, one more. Inhale. Exhale, fold over the legs, lengthen the knees. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, high plank, lowering down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog. And we're going to lift up the left leg towards the sky. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest and see if you can plant the foot in between the hands. Back heel dropping down, reaching up with the body. Shuffle however feels good to find this warrior one, making sure the ankle is further forward than that front knee. Keep breathing deeply. Okay, one more inhale. And exhale, drop the hands back down, tuck the back toes underneath, step it back, high plank, lowering down. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog, repeating on the other side, lift up the right leg. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest, plant the foot as far forward as you can, back heel down, lift on up with the body. So to make that back heel press down, you can turn the leg out a little bit. But keep the hips square towards the front of the mat, lifting up out of the hips with the body. Bending into that front knee. One last deep inhale. Exhale, plant the hands down, back toes tucked, step it back, high plank, lower it down. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog. Good, one deep breath. And we're looking forward, walk to the front of your mat, joint to the big toes pressed, half lift. Exhale, fold over those legs. Bend the knees, squeeze those legs together, sweep your fingertips, come on up to chair pose, reaching up in that body, belly button lifted. Bending into those legs, deep breaths. One more inhale. And exhale, stand on up, hands to prayer position, mountain pose. Alright, moving through that again, adding a little bit more, so we're heating up, ready for some stretches down on the ground. So moving to chair pose again, bend the knees, sweep those fingertips, squeeze the legs together, come up to chair pose, inhale. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, high plank, lower it down. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog. Alright, lift up the left leg. Exhale, knee in towards the chest, plant the foot. Back heel turning down, lifting up, finding your warrior one. And we're going to turn straight out, hips to the long edge of the mat, warrior two, arms coming into a T shape. Good. Keep lifting up that belly button, keep breathing. Again, make sure that front ankle is further forward than the bent knee and that you're still engaging this back knee by lifting it up, drawing it up. Moving into extended side angle, front forearm, so the left forearm, either onto the thigh or the hand onto the floor beside the foot, inside or out, whatever feels good. Lifting up and over, lengthening like gate pose, but we're higher up. So again, opening out this full space in your body. Good, come back to warrior two. Lengthen the front leg and walk the front foot a little bit closer in, maybe 1 foot, 2 feet distance in. Moving into triangle pose. Inhale, arms reaching wide. Exhale, fold sideways and forwards, reaching as far forward as you can, and then hand coming to the shin, the ankle, or hooking the big toe with the first 2 fingers, reaching up towards the sky. So still keeping that open feeling in the front body, lifting up that belly button. You can keep your hand on your hip, or you can reach the hand up towards the sky, looking up towards it, or down, or whatever feels good for your neck. And that might change depending on the moment, the side, the day. Alright, lengthen, come back up, keeping the legs long. We're turning the hips towards the front of the mat, walking the feet a little bit wider apart so that they're in line with your hips as they face forward. Left hand onto the hip, so the front hand onto front hip. Reaching up with the other hand, we're moving into a twisted triangle, so reach it forwards as you exhale, and then draw the hand to the outside of the front leg, so the shin, the ankle off to the floor, walking the feet a little bit wider if you need to, and then reaching up towards the sky again, twisting around this time. Again, hand onto the hip or up in the sky. Spread out the toes, lift up the belly button, head reaching away from the hips, deep breaths. A little bit of balance challenge already here. Alright, one more inhale. Exhale, bend the front knee, release the hands, bring them flat, straight down. Back long leg, reaching out, high plank, lowering down. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog, and we're going to repeat all that on the other side. So lifting up the right leg towards the sky, inhale. Exhale, tuck the knee in towards the chest. Plant the foot far forward, back heel down, warrior one, reaching up with the body, with the arms. Opening straight out, hips to the long edge of the mat, warrior two. Keep on breathing, feel your toes, feel your fingers, feel the top of your head. A few more breaths. And then we're finding extended side angle, so forearm to the front thigh, reaching up and over, or hand towards the ground, front or behind the foot. Whatever feels good for you to keep on lifting up this pelvis, keeping it in a long line. One more deep breath. And exhale, come back up. Lengthen the front leg, walk it in. 1 foot, 2 feet distance maybe. Arms reaching wide for triangle pose, inhale. Exhale, fold as far forward, sideways as you can. And then reach down to the shin, the ankle, hooking that big toe with the first 2 fingers, opening out the hip towards the sky. Deep breaths. Spread out your toes. And come back up. Returning to the front of the mat. So, hips towards the front, walk the feet a little bit wider, back foot turned in a little bit more to find this strong position. Front hand on front hip, reaching up with the other hand, reaching up towards the sky, inhale. Exhale, fold as far forward as you can, knees lifting up, and then reach for the outside of the shin, the ankle, to the floor beside the front foot, walking the legs a little bit wider if you need to. And yeah, like I said, keep on lifting those knees up to find the strength in the joints, or if it's a lot on those hamstrings and you're quite high up in the arm, bend the knees a little bit. Always take precautions, always find poses that work for you. Alright, bend the front knee, hands coming straight down. Step it back with the back leg, other front leg to join it, high plank, lowering down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Exhale, roll it back. Downwards facing dog, good. Deep breaths, pressing away. And let's look forward, walk to the front of the mat one more time. Joint to the big toes, pressing together, half lift. Exhale, fold all the way over those legs. Bend the knees, squeeze the legs together, come up to chair pose. Tailbone dropping down, belly button lifted. And rise on up. Find your mountain pose. Take a few breaths. Alright, so from here, we're going to take a malasana squat down. So let's walk the legs a little bit wider. You can keep facing towards the front of the mat. I'm just showing you this way. Turn your toes out. Bend down into those heels, bending as low down as you can. Making sure as you go down that you can assess that your toes are facing the same way as your knees are bending. So just have a look, see how you're doing, maybe turn the toes out, turn them in, and then carry on reaching down as low as you can until maybe you're all the way down. You can bring your hands to the floor, or you can bring those hands into prayer position, pressing those knees away with the elbows reaching up long into the spine. Take a few breaths here. Sinking down to those hips. Every time you exhale, sinking a little bit lower. Okay, good. Lengthen the legs up, reach it forwards, and we're going to step back into high plank, moving down towards the floor, elbows in, chaturanga. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog for a moment, and then come down to the knees. Sit off to one side or cross the legs and reach the legs out in front of you. So we're drawing in the right leg, knee opening out to the side, foot, sole of the foot onto the inner thigh of the other leg, reaching up high in those arms, opening the chest, inhale, exhale, folding forwards over the leg. Keep flexing the extended leg foot towards you as you reach. A few breaths here. And walk your hands to the inside of that front leg, shuffling around until you're sideways sat towards the long edge of your mat. Legs into a more open position, arms wide. Inhale. Exhale, fold sideways this time towards that lengthened leg, reaching up and over until maybe you can hold onto that foot with the other arm. Both sit bones planted. Don't worry about where you are, what it looks like, only focus on finding the stretch. There's different possibilities, different levels of the shape, but all it's for is to offer you a pose where you can feel a stretch. So that's all it's for. It's not to achieve anything, any look, any appearance. It's only there so that you can find the stretch that's right for you. Alright, come on up, let's repeat on the other side. Both legs lengthened, let's reach the left foot in, knee dropping out, sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Reach on up, both arms, exhale, fold on forwards. Deep breaths. And hands to the inner side of the front foot, shuffling around towards the long edge of your mat, arms reaching wide. Inhale. Exhale, folding sideways towards the lengthened leg, up and over. Find the stretch that's right for you. And focus on the feeling, the opening and the relaxation with the exhale. Alright, lengthen, come back on up. Shuffle towards the front, both legs lengthened, and then we're going to reach both legs in. Knees out to the side, soles of the feet planted together. Show you this way a little bit easier to see. Hands can reach forwards, they can reach for the ankles, the shins. You can clasp your hands, reach them around those toes. Inhale, lengthen up the spine. Exhale, folding forwards into this Baddha Konasana. So if you feel very hunched by holding your legs, reach your arms forwards. Keep lengthening the spine away from the hips. Deep breaths. Every time you exhale, let go a little bit deeper. with those hands. So now I'm going to offer you 3 options. Option 1, first of all lengthen both legs and then draw in the right leg. So what the first option is you can either hug that leg in, maybe twist it a little bit, maybe find this baby type hold with the leg, opening out the hip. Or you can move on a little bit more into half lotus, pressing down the foot over the top of the thigh of the extended leg. So this is the first option in this option. Or you can bind it, reaching the same arm as leg around your back, trying to hook those toes with the other hand, with that hand around your back. Reaching up even, and reaching forwards, you can lengthen down, forwards fold with your arm bound around, or even with your arm extended, that foot on that thigh of the other leg. So a half lotus pose, and a bound half lotus pose. Or the third option, if you want to give it a go, is a compass pose. So what you would do is bend in the extended leg so that you're sat like a cross leg position, but keep the leg that we were using, the right leg, off. And what you're going to do is hold with your opposite hand the outside of that foot, your other hand, so the same arm as leg, onto the floor on the inside of the thigh of the leg that's lifted. And then you're going to lengthen up the leg if you can, lengthening it as high as you can until it's behind that shoulder blade, opening out the chest. So this is the option 3. I'll show you that again. So for my case, the left leg is bent in, the right leg is lifted off. With the left hand, I'm holding the outside, going over the foot, the outside of the right foot, right arm on the inside of the right leg, fingertips pressing down to the floor, lifting up, lengthening the leg. So moving it behind that shoulder blade. So staying a few breaths more in whatever option you've chosen. And then let everything go. We're going to repeat on the other side. So those options on the other side, right leg lengthen this time, left leg either pulling in, just hugging the leg in, turning the leg out maybe, wrapping your arms around it like a baby, hugging it in, opening out that thigh. So whatever option you are choosing, take a few moments in each option as you work up. So either staying here or moving on to half lotus, foot onto the top of the opposite thigh, knee trying to press down towards the ground, staying here or reaching forwards, forwards fold with both arms. This actually is really good for massaging the belly with that foot. Or a bound half lotus, so you're reaching the same arm as the bent leg, the left arm, around the back towards the foot, trying to hold onto that foot, and then reaching forwards with the extended free arm. Hopefully you can see. I'll shuffle a little bit further back. So again, staying a few moments in this pose if you're moving into this or through this. Or move back on to compass pose. So bending in the right leg this time, like a comfortable cross-leg pose to sit on. With the same arm as the bent in leg, the right arm in this case, reaching over the left foot that's lifted, holding to the outside of the left foot, left hand on the inside of the thigh, fingertips planted, lengthen up the left leg until it's behind those shoulder blades, or just one shoulder blade. And breathing. So whichever position you're in, breathing a little deeper, settling into the pose, maybe getting your head around it, pausing if you need a little bit of time to figure anything out. Good, and let's lengthen everything down, let go of everything. Reach those both legs forwards, open them out into a small little angle. Lengthen up, you can reach out to the feet, ankles, shins, hooking those big toes, first 2 fingers, or just reaching forwards with the hands, moving into a wide leg forwards fold just to ease everything out. Inhale. Exhale, pulling forward through the heart center, reaching forwards towards the ground, forwards fold. Maybe have your head off to one side if you're down towards the ground, and then switch your head to the other side when you feel ready. Alright, one more deep breath. And exhale, rise, come all the way up. And let's keep it moving. So legs lengthen together towards the front of your mat, lengthen up. Feet flex towards you, exhale, fold forwards all the way over those feet. A few breaths here. And slide those hands back in towards you as you sit up, and then keep them reaching back 1 foot, 2 feet behind you. Either bring the feet into tabletop or keep them lengthened for reverse plank. Lift the hips up. Press up through the shoulder blades, few breaths. So you could have the feet in, just lifting the hips on up into reverse tabletop if that's better. One more inhale. Exhale, drop the hips down. Sweep the legs around or cross the legs, and we're coming forwards into high plank. Lower the elbows down, chaturanga. Inhale. Upwards facing dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog, and then bring the left knee in towards the chest. Plant the foot in between the hands, drop the back knee down. Low lunge. Arms can reach up or stay down. Make sure the front ankle is beyond the front knee, hips reaching down towards the ground. Few breaths here. Really sinking down. And let's reach the hands forwards and bring them in on the inside of the front foot. Walk the front foot to the side of your mat, further than hip distance apart, and replace your hands onto the same area as your shoulders, underneath on the mat. Into lizard pose, so the front knee can drop out over the side of the front foot. We'll shuffle around to show you a little bit better that way. And reaching the chest through. Hips deepening a little bit more into this pose. Okay, so shuffle back towards the front of your mat. Foot coming into the center of your chest, in between the hands. And we're going to reach those hips back up, lengthening the front leg, spine long into a half split, coming down onto the elbows if that feels good, or even moving deeper in towards a full split. So reaching as far away as you can with those feet until you're all the way down. Lengthening with time, maybe weeks, maybe months, not worrying at all, just finding the stretch that's right for you in your legs, reaching up with the arms if you're all the way down, feet reaching away from each other. Deep breaths wherever you are. And plant both hands down if they're not already. Use your hands really securely to try and work your way back to downwards facing dog. You're moving on to the other side. So right knee in towards the chest. Plant the right foot down in between the hands, drop the back knee down, low lunge. Foot of the front foot further forward than the knee that's bent, reaching up with the arms if that feels good. You might find that one side is stiffer than the other. Take each side as it comes, without judgment, without expectation. Really just tuning into your breath and what feels right for you. Alright, hands coming down on the inside of the front foot. Walk the foot to the edge of the mat or further than your hip. Hands are placed directly underneath the shoulders. Rolling out that knee over the side of the front foot, reaching the chest through. Dropping the hips down, deep breaths. Good, okay. Walking the foot back in the middle of the chest, in between the hands, and moving either into half split, reaching the hips back, lengthening the front leg, reaching the spine long, maybe coming down onto the elbows, or deeper down, moving through towards a full split. So wherever you are, lengthening all the way, feet pulling away from each other, and finding a split pose to stretch out those legs. Alright, so pressing down into the hands, walk it back to down dog. Let's take one little flow through. We're going to miss out chaturanga though and come forwards to high plank. Drop the hips down into a high cobra. And press it back to down dog. Okay, again, pull the left knee in towards the chest, but we're turning the foot out and drawing down, sitting down into a pigeon pose. So you've got this kind of angle in the front leg. So you're down to the thigh, the side of the thigh, the side of the shin, and into the foot. Kind of like a right angle, if you can reach that, or draw the foot in towards you a little bit more, maybe even all up against you into your pigeon pose. Reaching your hands forwards, coming down onto your elbows if that feels good for you. So a little bit of tips here, a little pointer. If you want a deeper stretch, pull the foot further forward, make more of a right angle, and trying to keep the back hip turning down, pressing down towards the mat. Spine reaching long away from the hips. This is going to be our final stretch. We're going to do it again on the other side, but not quite yet. So just enjoy it on this side. The deepening, the lengthening, every exhale lowering down a little bit more. You can come all the way down, head onto the hands, head onto the mat if you want to reach forwards. Whatever feels good. Slowing down those breaths, letting go a little bit more, you're almost there. One more deep breath. Come back onto the hands if you're not already. Tuck the back toes underneath, see if you can press back to that down dog and move to the other side. Right foot in. Lower it down, lower the whole leg down into that right angle position. Shuffle if you need space. So either bring the foot in towards your body or lengthen it out away from you into a right angle, reaching forwards. Back hip drawing down. Lengthening to find the position that feels good for you. Moving deeper as you exhale. One more deep breath. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Plant your hands down. Step it back to down dog. Lengthen forward, high plank. Blow the hips down, high cobra one more time. Bring the knees down, sit off onto the knees, sit off to one side. Feet reaching out away from you. We're going to do one little strength position, the very last pose before we move into relaxation. So lift the legs off into boat pose, sitting onto those hips, onto the sit bones. You can either hold onto the legs or reach forwards. You can either lengthen those legs forwards. Deep breaths. One more deep breath. And exhale, plant the feet down, lengthen all the way to the mat, lying down flat, legs lengthened, heels towards the edge of the mat, palms facing up, arms away from your body a little bit, leave space for your sides. Tuck your chin a little bit, lengthen your neck, find Shavasana, final pose. Take one deep breath. And exhale all the way down, relaxing every joint, every muscle, letting go completely. One more time, inhale right to the top. And exhale through your mouth, let it go. Sinking down, soaking in all the work you've done. One last time, inhale. And exhale through the mouth, really enjoy it, let it go. You've finished, you've done. Alright, knees in towards the chest. Okay. Draw those knees in towards the chest. Roll over onto the right side of the body. Lengthen the top leg. Come on up. Find that comfortable cross-leg position that we started in. Take any extra movements that you feel like you need to. Come back into the room, back into your day, your evening, wherever you are. And we're going to inhale, reach on up towards the sky. Bring the hands together and exhale, draw them down towards heart center. Okay, thank you for joining in this class today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're feeling a little bit more stretched, a little bit more space in your joints and feeling good. So, hope to see you again next time. Thank you. Namaste.